What's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host of LT Productions. You are watching another episode of Speak Up. We are going to be talking about Kenya Moore. She did a live and she got the fire started. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Like this video, subscribe if you are new, and leave your comments below. Now let's get into Miss Kenya Summer Moore. Okay, so for ones who haven't been on the internet for the last 24 hours, Kenya got another viral moment. She let it be clear about a few things that have been going on behind the scenes, which y'all seen on camera, and futuristic as far as her time being on the show. She first wanted to clear up what Porsha said. Porsha said, as you know, at the reunion, Kenya told her that Drew is the one that gave her the information on that other cast member that's now suing the network that says it's not really her. Now, this started months ago. Porsha just said, I think, another cast member at the time, and then on the reunion she said it was Drew. Now, Drew's looking there kind of guilty to me. Like, why are you looking like that? Stand 10 toes down and just say you didn't do it. But it was like, and then you were looking kind of guilty. I think Rodney DeVoy, shout out to him, touched on that. I'm not too clear on that, but he did say something about Drew. You're a part of this too. Do I think that Drew has some connections that could have hooked Kenya up to get some information? Yeah. Did she say, here, Kenya, here's the stuff I found? No. And I think that we can leave it like that, at that. But did anybody catch? And all I've seen is clips, because I haven't been really interested in the reunion, but clips come down and I see them. When Porsha says that she was trying to help Kenya and how she was going to distribute the news and the tea that she got on that Edie's person. Did y'all hear that? But for some reason, she also said in one of her YouTubes, Porsha, weeks ago, that it was information or photos or media of child, you know what? Child media. But then you were just so sick. Like, you don't even have to remember episode 5, so sick, and you can edit me all out of it and just. So Porsha put up all these dramatics and you were a part of the plan anyways. You were only upset is because you didn't know that she was going to do that at her own event. But y'all gonna let that slide. And you could say, well, Kenya was the one that did it anyway, so blame her. Yes, blame her. And it seems like Team Twirl can hold her accountable, but for some reason we're supposed to abandon her. But y'all don't have to abandon anyone that y'all like. And it's like, I don't know, to me, I really don't, as I've said, I don't really care what she did. It's just when she did it and how she did it. But anyways, so she said that's a lie. She said when she said that, Porsha said that, Kenya called her and said, you know that's a lie. And then she was adamant, you did say that, da, 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 da. Like, I never told you that. So they had a conversation. Shockingly enough, she still spoke up for Porsha. She said that she knows that Porsha did try to fight for her to stay on the show. She thought it was unfair, da 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 da. So she gave Porsha some praise. I guess that's good to know. So I know y'all Porsha fans ain't gonna take that anyways. You're gonna be like, that's right. She should have been praising her, or some type of like, oh, does she deserve points for that? No, she's being integral, even though y'all call her everything but a child of God. Moving on to Miss Cynthia. A question was asked: do you speak to Cynthia? Kenya finally talks about what has been going on between her and Cynthia. She first said that she feels like Cynthia lied, but she said, well, let me not say lied, maybe did she say misinformed, misinterpreted, or whatever, misguided or whatever, but how she's going about it and Cynthia's playing it out to the public is that the reason that she's not talking to her is because of how she said what she said. As far as her calling her friend and being accountable. That wasn't it. That wasn't it as far as what she said. She said that she don't mind. I'm not angry at her for speaking out or speaking what she felt. What did she say exactly? Because I wrote that part down. She says that I'm not mad about her speaking her mind. Could she have gone about it differently? Yeah, but that's not what our issue is. We communicated after the whole salon thing. So that wasn't the issue. It was, she says that I thought she was someone I could trust. But she ended up sharing something that I told her privately. Shared a text to somebody that I told her privately. And she says that she knows why. She's not going to go into the details of what was shared, who she shared it to, and all that, but she knows. She says, I know why. And it was not for my best interest as her friend, but it was for her. And she's at this point of just saying, look, just stop talking about me. Do all you want to do, go with whatever, just stop. So at this point, King is just done with Cynthia. She just realized that Cynthia's not a ride or die. And I know also what she said during part of the interview, or not interview, her live. She's like, well, Nene may be a lot of things, but I don't think that Nene was lying about certain things. Really, she's implying that when Nene said this, about Cynthia, then it's true. So I think the betrayal is crazy. King says, you know, I know things, secret things and private things about her that I have no plans and will never tell. That I have not told and I will never tell. But she didn't keep that code. My thoughts as to what probably did happen. My thoughts, I don't know. It feels like she went to the network and shared something that Kenya said in the text. That's what I think. You said it was in your best interest, not in your best interest, but for hers. People think that Team Twirl doesn't have a right to be angry because Cynthia held Kenya accountable. Nobody said that Cynthia could not hold her accountable. I think it's how she moved through this whole situation. Because at first, Cynthia was talking like, in interviews before the episode aired, she felt like Britt made a mistake, but Kenya, ooh. And she says that she has high expectations of her friends. That's cool to have high expectations of your friends. But then the same person that did something to your friend, you're breaking bread with her. Yes, you got to film for this show. But we know that you invited Britt and she showed up to your birthday celebration. Cynthia, you treated whatever Britt did minor. But why are people acting like a gun threat is nothing? She don't know this lady from Adam and Eve. We don't know what she's capable of because she went on ranting and raving about that 2 to 3 times. And you think somebody is not supposed to take that serious? The only reason that Cynthia's not acting out because nobody's doing that to her. And I just feel like that's unfair. And we saw during the course of the season that you had to hold Britt back, what, twice? And you act like she's not hostile. She just made a mistake. I don't think that was cool. And it could feel very much of a betrayal. Of course, Kenya said this isn't what she feels. At least I know why I'm looking at her like, something ain't right in the Kool-Aid. It ain't hitting the spot with Cynthia and how she's moving through this whole situation. Cynthia has her job. Some people felt like Cynthia was getting her back from Girls Trip, even though they're supposed to be fine. I don't know the whole Pisces sign. I don't know if they like to get back. I don't know. But it feels like she was treating Kenya the way that she says that she felt, or let on that she felt. I watched the Girls Trip. And we've already been through discussions at how I feel about Girls Trip. Kenya was not in the wrong. Cynthia felt out of place. And she wanted Kenya's back on things that Cynthia could control, but she kept trying to force these friendships and go about things. She was no longer the good angel saving villainous Kenya. People liked Kenya over here, and Cynthia wasn't that liked. She didn't mesh well, and she's used to meshing with others. But yeah, that's and I could go further, but I'm not gonna go any further. But people say that, oh, well, you did things to Cynthia. You talked about the engagement. So y'all gonna say that Kenya's text messages deserved to be exposed. Private text messages, because she told her about possibly a surprise engagement. Mike asking for her hand in marriage, that they're not even married. He's not even married. She's not even married to him anymore. They lasted a year or so, right? She deserved that? Just say you don't like her. If Kenya did that to Cynthia, we know where y'all going with that. Y'all called her always a victim. No! She was wrong, but she can't be wrong to y'all, which is very weird and very crazy. All right, so I don't know what's going to happen with that relationship. I know what Aquarius is. When you break the trust, that's it. So, yeah. I'm not wishing anything, because let it be what it's going to be. The last and final part. Kenya talks about her future on Roa. She says that for now, she's not on there. There's been talks, but nothing came into fruition. She's always said that she has a good relationship with Andy. It's out of his hands, and this is a network decision. I feel like why Kenya's not on is because of this lawsuit now. And I feel like that was strategically supposed to happen with that girl. You know, I think she's dumb in what she did, but whatever. Somebody gonna pick her up because she still seeks attention and whatever. Anyways, yeah. I feel like it's that. It's been a network thing, and y'all were harassing Andy online this morning, and it's not his decision. Now, maybe you can harass Andy on this whole Nene thing, but it's Nene's fault. And she race and rage baited y'all into hating the network, hating Andy, and all that good stuff. But we'll save that for another video, because y'all still not ready for that conversation. But yeah, she won't be on, but she did say that 2 new housewives have been added, or at least testing right now. One that we know is a business owner, and another one is a cast member from Love and Hip Hop, and she's a singer. After she did her live, because they were trying to guess, and they said, is it K. Michelle? And she said, good guess. It's rumored out there that Miss Pinky, she's the one that is over the franchises of Slutty Vegan, I forgot her last name, and K. Michelle are the ones that have been added to the roster of Atlanta Housewives. Now, as much as y'all want to talk about saying that Housewives is turning into Love and Hip Hop, here we are. I have no problems with K. Michelle. I like K. Michelle. Housewives used to be a gatekeeping show, and big personalities weren't supposed to be on here. Tammy Roman tried to audition. They didn't want her because she was such a big personality on Basketball Wives. And probably others have also asked and tried to audition too, and they were turned down. And now it's just open. I don't get it. I really don't get it. With K. Michelle, she's a good reality star. Is she fit for the Housewives brand? You could say, well, they let Candy on here. Well, that was second season. Candy is Atlanta, though. Candy got a key to the city. Candy got colleges studying her career. She's Atlanta. Well, they let a beauty queen on. She was a beauty queen in Atlanta. And I think because of how the brand, I think around season 6 really is when we understood what a housewife show is. I've always said this and will always say this. Roa is the blueprint for reality TV, especially in an ensemble cast. That's what I mean. And it took forever to really figure out who they were. It seems like around seasons 4 or 5, maybe 6, reality shows get into their foundation, and we know who they are, and we're good on them, and they're able to soar and take off. As I said, is K. Michelle a part of the Housewives brand? And for you P. Willie fans, how would you really handle if K. Michelle came on the show? K. Michelle is a star. You really, because P. Willie won't be the star no more. How y'all gonna feel about that? She won't be. She's supposed to be the main girl running the girls. How y'all gonna feel about that? So when we said that, and we're seeing it come to in fruition, whomever the Love and Hip Hop star is, okay. But don't sit up here and say we anti-black. What do you mean anti-black? It's just like, it's so weird. It's so weird how y'all gonna say we're anti-black because there's certain calibers of quality that we like. Some of y'all like baddies. And I think that's why y'all are okay with Love and Hip Hop stars being on a housewife show. Housewives was always the creme de la creme. And now the gate is wide open. When it's always been about behind the gates of what's going on in Atlanta. Y'all can have it. I don't know if I'll watch. I don't know. I could change my mind. I have months. They're supposed to be filming within 2 weeks. Kenya let us know that. So, I don't know. So it looks like they'll be back on around March or so. I don't know. But we just stay tuned. I don't feel like it because Kenya's not going to be in there. You say, well, why is it one personality? Because that's my preference. Y'all didn't watch when Needy was off and still off. Y'all even passed around a boycott that she pushed to boycott the show. But we don't talk about that. There's a lot of things that we can talk about, and the things that I see a lot to be hypocritical. But oh well. Y'all can tell me your thoughts on these possible people coming on. She's a business person. I'm just trying to figure out where's the chemistry test. They've been trying to reboot the show since season 13. And it's not there. Was season 16 a huge flop? No, and yes at the same time. Because a lot of stuff didn't make sense. Like by episode 7 or 8, it's just like, what are we doing? The promotion of the show. What these ladies went out. Oh, let me stop. That's another video for me to rant about that. We're going to stick to Kenya's lie. Sorry about that. I went off. But that's all I got to say. Those are the 3 points. Porsha's lie and praise. Cynthia been lying and betraying. And the new cast for season 17. All right. Let me know. Like, subscribe, and share. Until the next one. Peace.